Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina, and today, since we are freshly out of the sign of Cancer tropically, I thought we would do a little review and meditate, reflect upon what the sign of Cancer really means in astrology and as an archetype. So don't worry if you don't have any planets or any nodes in the sign of Cancer, because the zodiac is 12 signs and we all have the 12 signs somewhere within us, in a house, in a place in our bodies, because the zodiac is reflected in our bodies. For instance, Cancer has to do with the heart area, the area where the breast is, and in the natal chart, even if you don't have anything in Cancer, you still have the sign of Cancer in a house somewhere. And it's important to understand the zodiac holistically, not just focus on the planets we have and the planets we don't have. Just understand it as a whole, as a symbolic reflection of life, and by understanding it, we understand life, ourselves, and other people, hopefully. So today we are talking about the sign of Cancer. In the past year and a few months, I've been living very close to the beach here. And because of that, I've been walking on the beach a lot, and I've been interacting with the life, the fauna that is on the sea, seagulls, fish, and of course crabs, hermit crabs, and all sorts of crabs. So I could observe very closely the animal that is symbolic to the sign of Cancer, the crab. I even made a painting of a crab. I think it's pretty good, given that I've never painted a crab before and I haven't painted much in my life. It's a melancholic crab, that's what I called it. But I really think it's fascinating to observe those creatures connected to the sign in order to understand the sign. Crabs are very, very shy. They are quick to hide away in the sand. Astrologically, Cancer, the crab is a water sign, of course, and as a place, it's associated to beaches. So beaches are half land, half water. And of course, the sign opposite to Cancer, to the crab, is Capricorn, which I made a video about some time ago. Capricorn is also half on the beach and half in water. And because it's the opposite sign, it corresponds to the winter solstice, while the crab, Cancer, is connected to the summer solstice. The difference between them is that the crab is more going into the water, and the Capricorn is going out of the water, because the Capricorn is half goat and half fish. I know that more recently people associate it with a fully grown goat, but actually traditionally it's half goat, half fish, or some sort of large aquatic creature. What we have to learn about this crab, from its shyness, from its movement, is that the sign of Cancer is very vulnerable. It's very tender. It has a hard shell on the outside, but inside is very soft, and it's trying to protect that softness with little ruses, with little tricks. The crab is always hiding in the sand. You can see the little traces that he makes, the sand that he's shoveling out to hide there, and he's just waiting. So I think that says a lot about the sign of Cancer. There's a certain delicacy, there's a certain shyness. It's the first of the water signs chronologically. The first is Cancer, the second one is Scorpio, and the third one is Pisces, in chronological order from the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. So there's a certain naivety, a certain purity, because it's the first water sign. There's a sort of rawness and rudimentary to it. So the crab can seem unrefined, it can seem raw at times. It can seem either overly direct or hiding away in its shell. It can use the sand to hide, or it can use the sharp claws to clip you, which I have felt on my own fingers even last month. There is this duality of delicacy versus aggressiveness. The sign of Cancer is associated very much to the essence of femininity, because it's the sign, the home sign of the moon, which is the most yin, the most feminine significator, this feminine luminary. So it has a lot to do with femininity for both men and women. It has to do with the mother. It has to do with the heart and the serenity, the peace that you find in the heart. It has to do with coming and going for a short time, but it also has to do with foreign places and feeling foreign in your place, because if the crab is on the ground too long, you can be sure that it won't feel good. There's also the shadow side of this sign of Cancer. It's one of them is hoarding, keeping too many things that you don't need. So it can be emotional hoarding, which is holding on to negative feelings, especially because we tend to hold on to negative feelings, not positive ones. And then there's also the physical hoarding, which is probably a reflection, an extrapolation of the internal hoarding, where we keep a lot of things either from our past because we try to hang on to the past, or we feel that we can somehow bridge that emotional abyss in us by pouring things in. The best to do for the sign of Cancer to be healthy is continuous movement. Like the water moves, like the water sign moves, the crab has to move. The feelings have to move also through you. The feelings cannot be stuck there. The feelings are like visitors. They are not coming to invade your house and stay there uninvited. Allow those unwanted feelings, those negative feelings that are lingering in your heart to go away, to become something else, some different type of energy. Hoarding negative feelings is one of the ways that leads to physical affliction of the breast area, and especially breast cancer, which affects women 99% of the time. It's a very feminine issue, an issue of negative feelings overextending their stay in your body. So from the crab, you need to learn to quickly move from one place to the other, to not hold on to something unnecessary, both physical and emotional. Another thing that can be negatively associated with the sign of Cancer, with the crabs, like another shadow side of the crab, is frigidity. It's the inability to be open for intimacy. allowing that hard shell to take over your life and not letting the close people in your life feel your soft spot, your vulnerable side. And I don't mean that like sexually, because when we think frigidity, we think sexually. It's also in relationships with your friends, with your family, with the people very close to you. You have to have at least one person that you can open your heart to and feel vulnerable and truly be authentic in your feeling, and not always present like a hard shell, which is mostly like the opposite sign of Cancer, which is Capricorn, which is more authoritarian, which is more pragmatic and hard. Cancer needs to allow for vulnerability to exist. Otherwise, there can be frigidity in relationships and sexual frigidity. Another bad reputation of the crab is, the expression like crabs in a barrel. So if somebody puts crabs in a barrel, lots of crabs, and one of them tries to escape, the other crabs will pull the fugitive back in the barrel. So that is possessiveness, that is jealousy, that is a feeling associated to a negative manifestation of femininity. Healthy femininity is nourishing. Unhealthy yin is possessive, is clingy, is jealous. How do we work with that? I think everyone has felt at least moments these feelings, but feeling it for a moment is not a problem. Becoming a pattern, becoming something that negatively influences your life and your relationship with other people, then it becomes a problem. If that becomes a problem for anyone, just take a step back and try to reconnect with your soul, try to realign with your motivation, with your reason, try to realign with that nourishing part of yourself that wants to see the good in people and not to cling on to something just out of fear. For those of you who are studying or are interested in card reading, the cards of truth, I associate Moon in Cancer, because Moon is the ruler of the sign Cancer, to the Two of Hearts, because the Moon is connected to the Two. It's the night luminary, it's the yin principle, and the heart suit is connected to the water, to emotions, to family, to art. When I think of the Two of Hearts, I connect it to the Moon in Cancer, healthy or unhealthy, depends on what it's surrounded with. This is the card deck that I created. I still have a few decks left. If you're interested, you can see it in my description of this video. The Two of Hearts has an innocence. It has this foundational quality of connection. So you're connecting to something you love, like genuinely, passionately, like when you're a teenager and you have your first love. So you have your first love and then you walk hand in hand with that person. That's kind of the Two of Hearts. It's something a little naive because it's a foundation, it's a beginning, but it's something very passionate and pure and beautiful. It's like when you learn to paint and you do your first painting, for instance, like, wow, it's not the greatest painting in the world, but you're happy because you put your passion in motion. That's also the sign of Cancer, putting your passion in motion, not stagnating with your passion. The sign of Cancer also is associated to art, to music, to poetry, everything artistic, also spirituality, also because it's a water sign, it can be connected to hidden things like occult knowledge, it's psychology, it's just happiness in the heart. Of course, the sign of Cancer and the Moon the ruler of Cancer, are very much associated with mother, not just the physical mother on earth, but like mother figures, the nourishing quality of the mother, the emotional support, the nourishment that the mother gives you. That's why it's also connected to the breast, because the first source of nourishment for a baby is the breast milk from the mother. So all these things go hand in hand. Peace of heart, relationship with a mother or a mother figure, you as a mother, if you are a mother, or even if you're not a mother, you as a nourisher, you as a person giving nourishment. As all water signs, Cancer also has this yin, more passive, more going with the flow aspect to it. So you are aware of your environment, but you are also intrinsically in tune with the ebb and flow of the sea. And we as humans, we are in tune to the ebb and flow of the collective emotions. It's just important not to cling to something too long. You're just a little bit here, a little bit there. That's the healthy way to tackle the sign of Cancer. So that was about it for today. If you stuck all through the video, kudos to you. You can put a pink emoji in the comments, because Cancer is connected to the color pink. And I would like to encourage you, whether or not you have any planet in the sign of Cancer, to do something nourishing for your body or your heart today, like cook homely nourishing meal, or draw something, or do a card reading for yourself or for a friend. Just use your intuition. So I will leave you with that. You can find me here on YouTube or on my website, carmina-amza.com, where you can see my readings, my classes. I also offer trance healings. You can find more about that and testimonials on my website. And maybe I'll be starting more courses soon. If you're interested, check out my courses page. Okay, you guys, I'll see you again with another video in some time. Until then, enjoy. Bye.